19th century, the Russian Empire conquered and self-ruled constituencies in the South Caucasus, which were formerly part of the Iranian realm. Russian colonial policy paved the way for the formation of newly secular educated Muslim elites under the imperial patronage, and the modernization movement launched by this local elite gradually laid the foundations for the birth of a new nation of the secular Azerbaijanis. The start of World War I caught the Azerbaijani intelligentsia in the midst of a new identity-shaping process, which was accelerated by the fall of the monarchy of Russia in February 1917. The Azerbaijani intellectuals and elite joined the ranks of the new Russian Muslim intelligentsia, in which quest for self-determination, the idea of pursuing multiple autonomies in various territories, with a dense Muslim population, was adapted by the Congress of Russian Muslims held in Moscow in 1917. Everything had to be decided in the purpose all Russian Constituent Assembly formed through the free and fair elections. In the elections held in November 1917, the center-right nationalist Mustav Equality Party and its liberal allies emerged the strongest political force of Muslim Azerbaijanis, following all Muslim socialists and local Islamists. However, the Bolshevik takeover in 1917 followed the Russian Revolution, halted these democratic changes. On the 11th of November 1917, representatives of the Azerbaijanis, Armenians and the Georgians assembled in Tbilisi to form a new local governing body, the Trans-Caucasian Commissariat. Although the political elites of the Trans-Caucasus native people rejected the Bolshevism, they still remained loyal to the idea of the unified and democratic Russia. Russia's Caucasus army followed the native elites to the rejection of Bolshevism and the Bolshevik authority as well. On the 18th of December 1917, with the encouragement of the Trans-Caucasian Commissariat, the commander-in-chief of the Russian Caucasus Army, General Mikhail Promyzhsky, signed the Indzar armistice with the Ottomans, which had been offered by the latter. The deposal of the newly elected All-Russian Constituency assembled by the Bolsheviks in 1918 further alienated the native elites of the South Caucasus. In February 1918, the Azerbaijanis, Armenians and the Georgians. The dispersal of the newly elected All-Russian Constituent Assembly by the Bolsheviks in January 1918 further alienated the natives of the elites of the South Caucasus. In February 1918, the Azerbaijanis, the Armenians and the Georgians deputies elected their newly assembled. Deputies elected to this assembly decided to convene separately in Tbilisi and establish a new body called the Trans-Caucasian Semi, with the intention of taking the lead of regional politics. The Armenian Dashkushinatanin and the Azerbaijani coalition of the Mustavat, with the liberals and the Georgians Menstaviks, became the largest political group in the Semi. The political and the military situation in the region began to deteriorate quickly after the signing of the Brest-Litovsk Treaty between the Bolshevik government of the Russian Empire, of the former Russian Empire, and the Central Powers. The interpretation of the third paragraph of the treaty, Article 5, allowed the Ottoman Empire to regain control over its territories lost in the Russo-Turkish War of 1877 and 1878. This caused disappointment in the Trans-Caucasian leadership because it had also claims over those disputed territories. The Semi denounced the treaty and sent delegations to Tabaron and to negotiate with the Ottomans. Having failed to stop the advancing Ottoman troops through the negotiations, the Trans-Caucasian Semi declared war against the Ottoman empires and the Ottomans, which did not change the situation either. The Ottoman army continued its advance and seized control of the vital Georgian city of Butami. Under Ottoman pressure, in order to be able to make peace and reject the unpleasant terms of the Brest-Litovsk Treaty, the leaders of the South Caucasus nations cut their official ties with Soviet Russia. On the 22nd of May 1918, the Semi declared the independence of the Democratic Federate Republics of the Trans-Caucasus. The Ottomans immediately recognized this newly emerged state and negotiations between them resumed in Butami. Nonetheless, the new United Trans-Caucasus Republic did not last long because of the Soviet invasion, but some other stuff. While talks were going on in Butami, the Georgians tried to secure German backing in order to oppose the territorial demands of the Ottomans. Attracted by the prospect of German support for themselves, the Georgian political elite decided to leave the Union. Thus, the dissolution of the Transcaucasus Republic in May 1918 resulted in internal disagreement and contradicting evaluations of the foreign threat, ended with the formation of three new states: the Armenian, the Azerbaijanis, and the Georgian republics. The independence of Azerbaijani Republic declared on the 28th of May 1918 by the Muslim faction of the Transcaucasian Semi, renamed itself to the National Council of Azerbaijan, with basically authority over the whole government and the head of the Mustafa party. Mohammed Amir Razullah Zanin was elected as its president. Along with the Declaration of Independence, the National Council approved the formation of the first Azerbaijani government coalition led by the Prime Minister Fakih Khan Kolivskaski. The independence was proclaimed for a very complicated political and military situation based in Tbilisi. The newly formed Azerbaijani government did not have control over its own territories because of the Ottoman War and because of the invading Soviets from the north. The capital of the city of Azerbaijan, Baku, was under Bolshevik rule. To regain the access of its homeland, representatives of the Azerbaijani government sought help from their religious and ethnical brethren, the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman state, using the request of the Azerbaijani government, had its official pretext created by the special army unit called the Caucasus Army of Islam, led by Nauru Kalajali. This army landed on May the 28th, 1918, at the second largest city of Azerbaijan, Ganji. In June, the Azerbaijani government made its move to headquarters from Tbilisi to Gaijan as well. The attempt made by the Baku Soviets to repel the Ottoman army and the Azerbaijani government from Gan failed, and the military operation of the Caucasus of Islam to capture Baku city was launched. Having realized that the military forces under the Bolsheviks had not enough power to defend Baku city and its massive oil reserves, the advancing Ottoman army moved forward. Baku's Bolshevik Soviets resigned and handed power over to the newly created so-called Central Caspian Dictatorship, which turned officially request the help of the British Army, although some units of the British Dunsteth Force, deployed in late 1917 in Persia, arrived in Baku. Their size was not sufficient to defend the city from the Ottomans, who were supported by the major local Muslim population. The Ottoman troops were able to be aided by troops were also aided by the Azerbaijani military unit of the former Tsarist army, the so-called Wild Division, led by former Russian artillery generals and Azerbaijani in origin, and the name of the Azerbaijani Republic, the Wild Division. It's actually a cavalry regiment, but it's basically the Wild Division as a whole. On the 30th October 1918, according to the terms of the Armistice of Mudros, the Ottoman army defeated in World War I and the Turkish army units were withdrawn by Azerbaijan, because this is the end of World War I. Germany is next a month later, not even a month later, 11 days later. After the war, the mandate had been to control the region, and it was assigned by the United Kingdom and the Seven Nation Forces. General William Montgomery Thompson supported the local authorities of the Azerbaijani government. On the 7th of December 1918, with the consent of General Thompson, the first ever Azerbaijani parliament was convened. And it's not long after we played the sad violin of sad countries dissolved by the USSR, Azerbaijani falls. Although the Allies supported the local authorities of the Azerbaijani government, the local fate of the Republic had been decided in the Paris Peace Conference following the end of World War I. The Azerbaijani government disbanded a special mission to the Paris Peace Conference. The mission was led by the Speaker of the Azerbaijani Parliament, Alamendra Topchibiskev. On the 12th of January 1920, the Allied Supreme Council extended the de facto recognition of the Azerbaijani Republic along with the Georgian and the Armenians. However, on the 27th of April 1920, the Bolshevik 11th Army of the Red Army invaded Azerbaijan with the pretext of going to Anatolia to help the Turkey's Kremlist movement. It never left, however, and Azerbaijan was dissolved and became the first republic to cease in the Soviet takeover of former colonies in the region.